So I thought it would be, it would make sense to do, since we're all creatives, to make a little um, paintbrush Santa. And so these are just, this is a 3-inch chipboard. I've got them off of Amazon. I know you can get them probably at the, at the hardware store and everything else. But so we are going to make this cute little Santa ornament that you could just display, hang on your tree, or whatever you wanted to do. And so this is our first project for Christmas in July. So I've already painted my face. Let me do this so you can see. I've already painted my face, okay? So the next thing I need to do is we're going to add the eyes. Now, let me just tell you, if you are intimidated by doing eyes, which I understand because I am too most of the time, you could always just use a button. You could do, the end of a large paintbrush. Let me see, like this, and, just dot them. That would work too. Or, do something like that. You don't have to paint the eyes, but I just thought it would be fun. A fun way for it to really look fancy. So I'm going to get my little pattern here so I know what I'm doing. Like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so his hat's going to come about like that. So I'm wanting his eyes to be about like that. So hold on a moment. This is a white chalk pencil, and it is wonderful to do things like that. So I may have them too close. Can you see that? Kind of? I know it's kind of a glare. There we go. I think. Let's see. Maybe a little close, but we can kind of fix it. So let's start with painting this part of his face, and then while we're kind of letting this dry, we're going to go ahead and make its hat. And this doesn't really take just a whole lot to do this. I mean, you could, if you weren't painting the eyes, I'm just going to paint this. And this is probably going to have to take several coats. So we'll just give this several coats here. I mean, not much of it is going to show, but we want him to look good. Mostly just painting. Oh, it got that metal part hot too, so be careful. Make sure that that's, and you could always, instead of painting, you could always just use, like some fine tip markers. So this is just true blue. Can't get better blue than that. Okay, let me rinse that one out. Give me a paper. No, I have this rag here. Okay, so I'm just going to paint. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. I'm just going to kind of paint. Can't paint upside down. Sorry. And like I said, markers would be great to do this as well. I think this was the paintbrush I was using. That might be part of my problem. Let's kind of make a match. There we go. He looks a little loopy. It won't matter if there's a little bit of that on there. Okay. Hold on a moment. I got to do this. I can't see. There we go. Now he looks sleepy. I kind of want them to be even. That's the hardest part, is getting them to look like they match. All right. So there we go. That's cute. We are going to add just a smidge of pink. And then I do have to get my some of my flesh tone. I forgot I got to paint the nose. So I'm getting some water because I want this kind of watery. I don't do cheeks very well. I'm just going to give him kind of some pink cheeks, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. And I know that's really hard to see, but I didn't want it to be too much, and that looks pretty good. Okay, I have these. These are called buttons. I don't know. I've had them forever. I'm sure with Art Minds, that must mean it was from Michael's. But I thought these would work great because I can put it there, and then my glasses will kind of hang down on them. And so that's what I'm going to use. I don't know. Let's see if this is going to be good enough. Well, oh, I hate that. Hate when I forget to shake it up and it comes out oily or watery. I never know what that is. Let me get another brush. Let's see. Now this is the hard part, painting this. I'm going to add a little more pink to his nose. I think it needs another coat. I'll give it another one. He's a little lighter than the other one, but that's okay. I'll give it another coat. Okay. Okay, so we want it to go from here to probably up here. So here to here. Okay. And yeah, there's a method to my madness here. I'm going to make this about like this. And then measure it over, not really measuring, but you get the idea. Okay, so that is the width, the front width. And then I gave myself a little bit extra for the back of when I flip it over. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So this is going to be our top part right there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's right there. So I'm just going to take a ruler and I'm going to go from here to my point over here. Here we go. Okay. All right. I think that's good. So this is approximately, so this is a 3-inch, a 3-inch bristle brush. And so then this is going to be, this is about 9 inches by 8 inches. 9 by 8, okay? Let me plug in my hot glue gun again. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger just in case. So we have 9 by 8. 8 at the bottom, 9 to the top. Probably more than that. I made this last year. Yeah, that's better. Now he's going to have some hangover. Not a well, y'all know what I meant. I don't know, if I was up all night delivering gifts, I might have a hangover in the morning myself. But probably not from alcohol, probably from all the milk and the cookies. I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna start right here. I'm not even gonna, because I can snip that off. I'm gonna put that kind of right there. It's maybe a little more than I needed, but that's okay. And you could definitely stitch this, or you could use some you know, some Fabri-Tac or something. Okay, so see, I need to make this a little bit angled here. So it's more like that. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see. Oh, that's much better. We might kind of do him up a little bit to get it on there. And then that is just going to fold down just like that. And we will tie it and add a jingle bell. Okay, so we've got his eyes. We need eyelashes. We need to glue on his nose. I'm going to wait and do my eyelashes first. I'm just going to use a really, really fine pen and not do a paintbrush. So I got my little pattern here. All right, so I'm just going to start here, and all I'm doing is just kind of flicking. Trying to curve them a little bit. Ooh. Some of them got a little wild there. Y'all see them wild eyelashes? Must be my husband's. I gotta make these match. His hat will cover some of those. Okay, there we go. So I'm just on the both outside of the eyes. I'm just going to do a little swoosh and a dot. So just kind of following the line of the curvature of the eye. And that's it. That's all you got to do. We're going to glue his nose on. We're going to glue his hat on. Before I glue his nose on, I've got to do his whiskers. So all I have is some torn muslin. And I'm just going to make this simple here. And just kind of do this like this. Actually, I want this a little thinner. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, that's good. I'm going to just kind of wrap it around here. Do that. Do it just like this, and I'm going to do this one just the same. Am I still on camera here? Sorry. I've got to get my husband to get me an extension so that the camera's more here than way up here. But, okay. So we're going to snip that, kind of snip that, snip all of those, and that one. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue each one of these individually. And you know, these would make sorry, it keeps kind of slipping off there. These would make great gifts for your, for your kids or your grandkids to give if they've got an art teacher or something. And you know what I'm going to do? Instead of using that, I'm going to use this precision glue, because that way it won't make it so bulky. And we're just going to start layering these on. How did that not get cut? Hi. Okay. So now let me take some hot glue. Oh, trying to find my nose. All right. There we go. Oh, so cute. So, so cute. And then that's going to dry. Whoops. Hopefully that dries. I may have to go ahead and use some hot glue. All right. Then hopefully that glue. Oh, his nose is crooked. Okay, so I think that's good. And we'll trim his whiskers and stuff in a minute. Okay, so let's get his hat on. That's the wrong one. We're going to, I think I may just use this one on that side. No, I want it this way. So I'm going to do this here. And we are just going to kind of scrunch this up a little bit. Just like this. And we're just going to glue that down. And you could make it a little wider if you wanted. Okay, so let me get this middle part here, and then we'll just kind of play with it and see what happens. Okay. There we go. Should have made that a little smaller. There we go. We're just going to kind of pinch this just like that. Okay. That. I'm going to have to glue some more here. My glue is not wanting to dry. Okay, so these are almost done. All we have to do is add our fur. Oh, look at that! Oh, so cute! Oh my goodness. And see, you can hardly see his eyes, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to use hot glue and glue this on. Oops, get there. Make sure it's down far enough. Ouch. Let me put this back in there so I don't lose my pen. There we go. Okay. Oh, he's so cute. I'm going to glue this here. Glue that like that, and then we're just going to glue that there. Do it on here. Ouch! Oh, 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 oh. I mean, isn't he adorable? Oh my goodness. I have to snip some of that off or move it down just a little bit so that covers that up. And then this is going to fold down. And we got to make glasses. And then all I have, this is a little bit heavier wire than what I used and before. So this is how I did it. We are going to make the nose. Okay, let me get some wire cutters here. Okay, just gonna, okay, this is about 6 3/4, almost 7 inches long. So I'm going to just fold it in half because that will be the, you know, the bridge of his nose. And then all you do is just take your wire and you're going to loop it around. And this is a lot heavier than the other one. I have to get some pliers, which is a good thing. Means they're not going to. Whoop, that's a little less. Here we go. Sorry about that. There we go. And I'm just going to trim these off. Come on. There we go. And there we go. So they're just like that. And he may look kind of cute just like that. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can see or not. But there's his little glasses. It's just going to sit right there on his nose. And I'll just hot glue those on there. And then for this, I'm just going to take some of this red and green twine. And I could not find a bigger bell. So I have several small ones. So I have 3 bells. I think I'm just going to use these 3. Probably should have used silver, but that's okay. To match his glasses. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to tie this to the end here. I may have to turn it around. Bells are in the way. I think this was harder than painting the eyes. Oh, and you could definitely add, you know, like a little sprig of greenery or something. Oh, there we go. Let's give this a little tie. Whoops. There we go. Just like that. Make that a little smaller. And then scissors. Cut that off. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to cut this off just a little bit right there. There we go. There we go. You could definitely just put a pom-pom on there or just whatever. Let's give this a little bit of glue. See if I can get it to hang on there. And we're just going to stick that right there on his nose. And hold it. And our little Santa Claus is done. Now, if you wanted, you could put some white in his beard, but I think I'm just going to leave him just like he is.